Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ro, and today I wanted to give you a quick update about the situation of the coronavirus here in Peru. In case you're new, I am Peruvian. I live in Lima, Peru, which is the capital here, and I wanted to tell you a little bit about the situation in our country right now. We know that the whole coronavirus pandemic is going on, like it's everywhere, right? We know that there are a bunch of countries in Europe that have very difficult situation right now. We know that countries are taking very severe measures, and I just wanted to let you know what's going on here in Peru in case you're interested, if you want to know how it's being handled in different parts of the world. The coronavirus got here to Peru on March 6th. That was the first case, and it quickly spread throughout the nation. On Thursday the 14th, let me check. I just wanted to give you an update about life here in Peru. Well, with the whole coronavirus going around everywhere, the president just declared the country in a sanitary emergency state. So they postponed the classes for April 1st. And that was just for schools, right? Now, as I said, I'm an English teacher, but I don't work at a school. I work at an institute, an English institute, and our institute told us that they were not going to cancel the classes because they were going to take all the safety measures. So we worked on Wednesday just fine. Thursday we went to work as well, and then at noon we got a notification from the company telling us that we're not gonna continue working that day from that day until April. The president actually said that universities and institutes also had to postpone classes. So good news here is that I'm on vacation in April, so I'm literally gonna be off from basically, what was it? Today is Saturday, yesterday was Friday 13th, right? From Friday 13th to May 5th, because the cycle of May starts May 5th. The current state in Peru, just like all across the world, is that we've got kind of I don't know, chaos going on, because there are people buying out all the supplies, you know, like no toilet paper. I don't know what's up with people and toilet paper, seriously. I really don't get it. Yeah, like there's no toilet paper anywhere. Alcohol, antibacterial gel, and stuff in general. Like people are going to the supermarkets and buying like huge bags of rice and sugar and noodles and spaghetti, and I don't know, like just overbuying. I don't get it, because like, come on, we don't live in an island. It's not like we're gonna run out of food, you know? But people are just, I don't know, they're just going crazy. We can go out if we want to, like there's nothing preventing us from going out, but it is being encouraged that we stay home, and that's what I'm gonna do personally. I'm just gonna be here until May. As you can see, there are hardly any people out on the streets. Currently it's around, I think, 11:30, 11:40 a.m. There are hardly any cars, you can see. But the most surprising thing about this is that Lima is known as the gray city here in Peru. There's always a very cloudy sky. It's always dark. It's kind of like you know, like Seattle or Portland when it's like rainy season. But check this out. Look, the skies are blue. There are hardly any clouds. You can see up there, there's nothing. And you know what the most like amazing thing is? You see those like mountains over there? Like, I've been living in this apartment for like 2 years, and in these 2 years I have never seen these mountains like this. I didn't even know there was a mountain over there. That's how like contaminated the sky was. Then on Saturday the 14th, there were rumors that the country was gonna go into lockdown because the cases were multiplying way too fast. However, the president didn't say anything until Sunday the 15th. On Sunday the 15th, the rumors were going around. It was like everybody knew that it was gonna happen, but the president didn't come out to say it until late at night. It was around 8, or I think it was 8 p.m. when the president went into a press conference together with the ministers of all the different ministers, and they declared that our country was going into quarantine for about 15 days. So the measures at the beginning were pretty much social distancing, as it's been going on in every country. They encourage people to stay home. They actually closed down all companies that had nothing to do with the production of medicine or food or essential services, right? So pretty much all the companies closed down. Then on Monday, the president announced all the emergency measures that he hadn't said on Sunday, because it was kind of a short press conference. And we were just fine like that until, I believe it was Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken, that he announced a mandatory curfew for the remaining time of the quarantine. Nobody is allowed to go out between the hours of 8 p.m. and 5 a.m. During this time, if you are caught outside by a police officer, you will be taken to jail, basically, for the night, or I think they said 48 hours. And that's how we have been handling the situation until now. Now, both like the police force and the army are out on the streets. During the night at 8 p.m. when the curfew starts, you can see police cars, you can see even like war tanks. There are military on the streets. I was trying to capture this moment for a while, like it's been like 3 nights, but my camera was already in my closet. I don't think you can see it, but that's a war tank. And there are some cases of people that are not following the instructions. I think that today they announced that so far about 11,000 people have been detained for breaking the curfew, and that's crazy. I mean, right now we have, as I said, 363 cases of coronavirus, and people are not taking it seriously. Most of people in Lima, in the centric areas, are following the instructions. However, you know, there are always some people who don't, and we know that that is something that will affect everybody. Like, people still don't get the concept that you might be young, you might be healthy and all that, but just like carrying the virus with you will get other people sick, right? And those people might not be as healthy as you are. So that's why the idea is for people not to go out at all. Now, we have been staying in the apartment since the quarantine began. We have not gone out. We have only gone out, I guess, 3 times to go buy some stuff. In our case, and well, in Peru, the good thing is that we do not depend so much on supermarkets, because we have like bodegas and like small grocery stores on the corners. So I actually have like one just around there, like on the corner, and they have everything. You can buy chicken, you can buy veggies, fruits, everything that you want. They have all types of groceries. So in our case, that's pretty convenient, because we don't have to go to the supermarket. Now, the supermarket that we've got is like maybe like 10 blocks away, so it's not really that far. Now, as I said, the curfew starts at 8, and nobody's is allowed to go out. Now, I guess it was like 2 days ago that the president went, no, 3 days ago, right, when the president announced that there was going to be mandatory curfew. He also announced that that nobody was allowed to drive during this quarantine anymore. Like, if you have your own car and you just want to go to the supermarket or to visit someone, you can't go out at all. Okay, before he announced that, there were several cars on the streets, obviously not as many as there were before. If you saw one of my first videos, I showed you what it used to look like the traffic and like the buses and cars and everything, but now there are hardly any cars on the street. I think I also have some clips that I might add here. Good morning, guys. It's currently 9:30 a.m. and this is what this scenario looks like. You can see there are hardly any people or any cars on the streets. You got the eventual cars. You can see there are a couple over there, right? That one over there, the blue one that is coming, that's security. It's called Serenazgo. They are the ones that help out the police. We got very few cars. I've seen quite some people on bicycles and very few people walking around. This is what it looks like. Today is the second day. Look at Leo, he wants to kill himself. Today is the second day. of the quarantine. So that's kind of the situation that we're going through right now. I know that other countries have not taken such severe measures. I've been following up what's going on in the US and in most parts of Europe. I know that the countries that have been affected the most have actually taken pretty severe measures, but from what I know, quarantine in most states in the US are not as strict as they are now. I know that they can still go out. Here we cannot go out in pairs. For example, if you go to the supermarket, you have to go on your own. If they see you with somebody else or with a group of people, you might get detained. And I know that that's not the same thing that's going on in the US. Another thing is that there are no restaurants or delivery services allowed at all in the whole country anymore. So those of us that don't cook so often have to start cooking. Now, I like cooking, but whenever I feel like it. I don't really like cooking every day because it's not something I enjoy and I get tired and whatever. So there are some of us who are suffering in that way. Now I'm gonna add all the clips that I have recorded throughout the week. Hi everyone, this is quarantine day 5 in Lima, Peru. We just came to the balcony because we heard an announcement. As you can see over there, well, they're coming this way. They're announcing that they are disinfecting all the avenue, the sidewalks and everything. But she was saying that they're disinfecting the whole avenue. This is Rafael Escardo Avenue. So they are disinfecting all of this area, which is an initiative that the mayor has taken, the mayor of our district. As you can see down there, that's the mayor of our district with the police officers who have just stopped by to reinforce the quarantine and to ask people to stay home. Probably you have seen that it went viral, this initiative that they had in Italy, I think it was, for clapping. Or I guess it was, yeah, I think it was clapping. I'm not sure if it was clapping or singing. But ever since the curfew began, which I think it was on Thursday, everybody goes out onto their balconies or their windows at 8 p.m., which is the time when the curfew starts, and starts clapping in order to thank the police officers, the people from the military, the nurses, the doctors, everybody who is working throughout this very difficult situation. Yeah, it's officially 8 o'clock and we are on mandatory curfew. There's a helicopter flying around checking the streets to see if there are any people violating the law. You can see it's flashing its light. So there was this like WhatsApp message going around in which they asked people to go to their balconies at 8 and clap. To finish up, I just wanted to tell you that this is something serious, right? If it's within your power to stay home, if you don't really need to go out, if you are not a doctor, if you're not a nurse, a police officer who is actually like risking their lives for the rest, just stay home and make their lives easier. So yeah, I just wanted to give you an update about what's going on, about how we are handling the situation down here in Peru. We do not have as many resources as other countries. The numbers that I mentioned, right, 363 cases have been taken just from about 8,000 people that have been tested, because our country currently has only 10,000 tests. The president has already ordered, I think, 1.4 million tests because the situation is pretty bad. If you can just stay home, be safe, and we'll get through it together. So yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give you a quick update on what's going on here. Yep.